authors. She wrote back during a time when science fiction, especially, was an extremely male-dominated genre. So she's definitely a boundary breaker in that sense. She is best known for her Earthsea series, which is really good. It was made into a miniseries on the Sci-Fi Channel. Okay, so what is dystopian fiction?
What?
Tell me, what is utopian and dystopian fiction? Who wants to read the first sentence? Ryan? Well, actually, we have a policy in this classroom where if you volunteer someone else, you have to go first.
Since one?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Sacrifice a Baby. Okay.
Utopian and dystopian fiction are both science fiction subgenres. They are both concerned with the way societies are structured.
What's up?
Utopian fiction portrays a perfect society. Examples include Utopia by Thomas More.
Yes.
That's in there. It comes from the Greek prefix "e," which means good.
So, there's not a lot of utopian fiction. Why do we think that is?
That's interesting.
It's less interesting. Awesome, Ryan. Why do we think it's less interesting?
What?
Why do we think it's less interesting?
It's education. It's like problems.
Yeah, stories aren't interesting without problems. Right. How about dystopian fiction? What does that do? Alyssa.
Dystopian fiction portrays an unjust or unfair society. It comes from the Greek prefix "dys," which means bad.
Can anyone think of any examples of dystopian fiction? I know that some of you can.
Maze Runner.
Maze Runner, yeah.
Sanctuary?
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary,
The Surgeon.
Just have to say
The Surgeon, yeah. Fahrenheit 451. I'm sorry. How many pages count? Hunger Games is absolutely an example of dystopian fiction. It's one of the most popular dystopian books of all time. That's an excellent example, Alyssa. Okay. So another thing that's interesting about dystopian fiction is that it usually reflects the time in which it's written. Because people can't, yes, yeah. Awesome. So people usually can't see into the future, but authors can see problems now and worry like, what will happen if this continues and if this gets really bad? So a lot of dystopian fiction critiques elements of our current society. Alyssa mentioned the Hunger Games. The author of the Hunger Games got the idea when she was switching between channels, and she saw a documentary on a genocide in Eastern Europe together with a reality TV show, like flipping back and forth. And it critiques a lot of things, including like our desensitization to violence and the way entertainment, even like violent entertainment, is commodified. How everything's a product, even like very, very dark things. So, it's usually some kind of societal critique. So as you read, think about whether the ones who walk away from, yeah, is utopian or dystopian. So, we're gonna listen to the first two paragraphs as an audio reading. Who wants to,
Flip a coin.
is it woman's voice or man's voice? Are we in a woman mood or a man mood today?
Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
Flip a coin, okay, heads is
Woman.
woman, tails is man, okay.
Tails.
Okay, so man.
Always trust the coin.
Everyone cool with man?
That's a shame.
No.
You flip the coin.
When you're launching a new product with a tight deadline,
2 weeks?
Grammarly's tone suggestion.
The terms are strict.
Walks away from omelets.
How to get the most of Grammarly free. It's Kayla on behalf of Grammarly to type.
Gwen. With a clamor of bells that set the swallows soaring. boats in harbor sparkled with flags. In the streets between houses with red roofs and painted walls, between old moss-grown gardens and under avenues of trees, past great parks and public buildings, processions moved. Some were decorous, old people in long, stiff robes of mauve and gray, grave master workmen, quiet, merry women carrying their babies and chatting as they walked. In other streets, the music beat faster, a shimmering of gong and tambourine, and the people went dancing. The procession was a dance. Children dodged in and out, their high calls rising like the swallows crossing flights over the music and the singing. All the processions wound towards the north side of the city, where on the great water meadow called the Green Fields, boys and girls, naked in the bright air, with mud-stained feet and ankles and long, lithe arms, exercised their restive horses before the race. The horses wore no gear at all, but a halter without bit. Their manes were braided with streamers of silver, gold, and green. They flared their nostrils and pranced and boasted to one another. They were vastly excited, the horse being the only animal who has adopted our ceremonies as his own. Far off to the north and west, the mountains stood up, half encircling Omelas in her bay. The air of morning was so clear that the snow still crowning the 18 peaks burned with white gold fire across the miles of sunlit air under the dark blue of the sky. There was just enough wind to make the banners that marked the racecourse snap and flutter now and then. In the silence of the broad green meadows, one could hear the music winding through the city streets, farther and nearer and ever approaching, a cheerful, faint sweetness of the air that from time to time trembled and gathered together and broke out into the great, joyous clanging of the bells. Joyous. How is one to tell about joy? How describe the citizens of Omelas?
Okay. So, what's happening in Omelas right now? Yeah, a festival. Like a parade or something, right? Mm-hmm. What animal is out? Horse, yeah. And how are the people being characterized? Yeah, they're happy. What's the third paragraph? It's not really even a paragraph. Just one sentence. Yeah, how to describe the citizens of Omelas? Joyous. How is one to tell about joy? So, how does Omelas compare to our world? Yes, Brianna.
There's happiness.
Yeah,
And there's no problem.
there's no problems, right? So is it dystopian or utopian?
What's the difference?
So utopian means it's like perfect society.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it's utopian. Awesome. So, having done that, we are now going to go back to our presentation. We're going to read the rest of the story independently or in small groups. You've done this. So we're going to pause after the 9th paragraph. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to read until the 9th paragraph. Six. You guys got 6 minutes to read until until the 9th paragraph.
This is really wrong. What happens if, what is the source of heat? Is that omelets?
You're gonna find out after the 9th paragraph.
Omelets.
Yes, right.
We already. So,
Let me know if you have any questions about. You can work independently or in pairs, as always.
slaves. No. No, no. Mine's a bit confused. You can't walk on this. That's very serious. This.
Yeah.
I have a wish.
Nice. Chicken.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Oh, yeah. It's just that picture's
We're reading, so we just finished the third paragraph. And we're reading after the third up to the 9th.
Okay. Can you see anything bad with your food? Anything bad? Let's see if you can. I only saw something bad with
Let me know if you guys need more time. I'll just wait till we run out, and if everyone has gotten to 9, or if most people have gotten to 9, we will answer this question. How far have you gotten?
to now, but you guys discuss something. I don't know if this was
Okay, so it has come to my attention that the worksheet put the question in the wrong place. We're still gonna talk after 9. We're gonna talk about what we've developed, what we see. But okay. So, what kind of things exist in this ideal society?
Omelets.
All jokes aside, Damon. Clergy. Can I see?
I think that would be expensive back in
As we did without clergy. So, without clergy. So there's no religion. Without soldiers. The joy built upon successful slaughter is not the right kind of joy. It will not do. It is fearful and it is trivial. What do we think that means?
Do you like omelets?
Is there war? Why? Yeah, because everyone's happy. You can't have war without conflict. A boundless and generous contentment, a magnanimous triumph,
Imagine a case
self against some outer enemy, but in communion with the finest and fairest in the souls of all men everywhere. Isn't that beautiful? And the splendor of the world's summer. This is what swells the hearts of the people of all of us. And the victory they celebrate is that of life. I really don't think many of them. What's that? What do you say that is? Look at paragraph 8. Second sentence.
I'm not even online yet.
And the first
I'm not even
is,
online
I
yet.
thought at first it was
What
so it's sometimes wrong, right? Well, yeah, your cannibal means like when you are like too Okay, so what do we think of the inhabitants of this society? They're happy. They're super happy. What does their society not have? Yeah, it doesn't have slavery, doesn't have war, doesn't have any of that bad stuff. Doesn't. Okay, so now we're going to read the rest of the story. I'm going to give you guys until the end of the period. We're going to find out why they're so happy and whether it's worth it. Okay, do you want one more questions? So it's like fundamentally the same, because the same questions are on the board. Yes. Yes, the same questions on the board. Yeah, they're.
Oh, can I just get the one that
Mhm. What paragraph are you on? Okay. So there's a crazy twist. If you do not finish this, it does need to be finished from homework. Because we have a creative writing assignment tomorrow.
What that?
Hmm?
What that?
You'll find out.
Oh.